In United States of America, 25% of people faced the issue of myopia or nearsightedness in 1971. By the year 2004, that number was grown up to 42%. Today in Singapore, the rates of myopia are already up to 80%, which is massively high compared to the rest of the world. The World Health Organization even categorizes the growing portion of high myopic patients having prescriptions stronger than -5, as that number or higher puts them at the risk of losing their sight one day. So why are the people experiencing more myopic problems today than 50 years ago? Is it due to more inorganic food consumption or more screen time? Is it due to genetics? How can this issue be prevented? And if current growing trend continues, what percentage of the world will be myopic in 2050? In this episode of Veracity, we will try to answer all of these questions and more. So without further ado, let's get started.
Myopia.
Myopia. Am I saying it
You had
right?
a rise in short-sightedness.
The researchers actually called it an epidemic, but they're still trying to figure out why this is.
Rates of myopia or nearsightedness, or the need for corrective lenses to see distant objects clearly, has been rising for decades. For many years, researchers believed that weak eyesight is all only because of one main thing: genetics. And to some extent, it is true. If one parent has myopia, the likelihood of developing nearsightedness doubles, and it increases up to 5 times if both parents are nearsighted. However, as observed, human genetics do not change at such a rapid pace. So this sudden rise in myopia cases indicates that certain environmental factors are responsible for this. Something about your modern day lifestyle is making it more and more challenging to see things far away. So what exactly it could be? There are several reasons to this core issue. Number 1. Born with eyes that are too short. At birth, majority of individuals have eyes that are insufficiently elongated from front to back. In such a state, the lens concentrates pictures behind the retina, which is the light receptive tissue situated at the back of eye. Consequently, this makes the eye hyperopic or farsighted, leading to blurry vision when looking at things up close but a clear vision from afar. As we age, our eyes continue to develop until they adopt a spherical shape, allowing the lens to concentrate light directly onto the retina, resulting in a clear image. However, sometimes the eye keeps growing longer. This elongated shape of eye enables the lens to focus images directly onto the retina, but at a distance, images focus in front of retina, causing blurred vision. So all of us with myopia just have eyeballs that have grown too long.
The eye does not look like a basketball anymore. It looks more like a rugby ball.
So now, what could be the cause of increasing rate of myopic patients? According to the evidence, the way we spend our time during childhood and teenage may be a significant factor. This is the period when our eyes grow most rapidly, and therefore it is the time when most myopia develop in people and stabilized. Though it is still possible to develop myopia later in life if you strain your eyes excessively. Number 2. Near work or the time we spent indoors. The most significant influence on the development of elongated eyeballs are the two factors: near work and the time we spent looking at objects up close. In a medically fit eye, the eye muscle squeezes the lens to focus images onto the retina. Some experts theorize that if an individual spends an excessive amount of time looking at things up close, their eyes will grow longer to reduce strain. However, the opinion of experts are mixed. The more compelling explanation for elongated eyeballs is the time spent indoors.
The light from the sun has up to 100,000 lux on a sunny day, whereas in a room, the light levels generally are only about 200 to 300 lux.
Bright outdoor light encourages the production of dopamine in the eye's retina, which regulates eye growth. Without enough dopamine, the eye does not know when to stop growing, and indoors it's hard to get enough. Thus, eyes continues to grow longer and longer, resulting in myopia. Number 3. More screen time. On average, people are spending 7 hours a day globally on the digital screens in 2023. In countries like South Africa, that number is close to 11 hours. The first smartphone of the world, IBM Simon, with very limited functionalities, was introduced in 1994. In 2021, that number was grown up to 15 billion. Eye experts believe that children today are growing up with a combination of too little exposure to daylight and too much time engaging in activities that require looking at objects up close, such as using electronic devices and focusing on academics from an early age. And nowhere is that more apparent than in East and Southeast Asia.
Children in Asia are not spending that amount of time outside. This could possibly be because of the education system. It has become much more competitive. The children have a lot more homework. They attend tuition centers and they spend more time reading and writing.
Spending more on smartphones, TVs, and computers is the major contributor to the rise in vision problems, particularly myopia, especially in children. More screen time leads to eye strain, fatigue, and a condition known as computer vision syndrome, which can cause blurry vision, headaches, and difficulty focusing. Number 4. We age. Another reason is that people are living longer, and as we age, our eyes naturally undergo changes that can result in decline in visual acuity. This is known as presbyopia and is often the reason why older adult needs reading glasses. Number 5. Environmental issues. Environmental factors such as pollution, poor lighting conditions, and exposure to ultraviolet rays can also contribute to eye damage and vision problems. Number 6. Health issues. Certain health conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and other systematic diseases can also affect eye health and vision. Other factors that can contribute to vision problems include poor nutrition, exposure to UV radiations, and certain medical conditions. Number 7. Genetic factors. As discussed earlier, genetic factor may also play a role in the development of myopia. So now, what does the future look like? The study shows that if the current trend continues, it is estimated that more than half of the world's population will be myopic by 2050. This is alarmingly high. Now, how to prevent or eradicate this issue? Well, according to Dr. Shang Mesa,
It is a lifelong disease, so once you're myopic, it doesn't regress.
the earlier a child becomes myopic, the more serious their myopia can become and the greater the risk of debilitating conditions, which means it's important to intervene as early as possible. For those who start to develop myopia, there is treatment. First are multifocal soft contacts and glasses. They make peripheral vision intentionally blurry, which appears to slow down the progression of myopia. Then there's orthokeratology or ortho-K lenses, hard contact lenses worn only at night that reshape the wearer's cornea while they sleep so that they can see at a distance during the day. But some experts doubt their treatment. The more serious risk involves wearing contact lenses overnight, which increases the risk of hypoxia in the eyes. This may lead to corneal swelling and over time clouding. And there are atropine eye drops, low doses of a substance that temporarily paralyzes the eye focusing muscles, which seems to reduce the development of myopia. But the first line of defense is prevention. The simplest and the most effective way to prevent myopia is to get kids to spend more time outside. In Taiwan, the government introduced a nationwide program in 2010 encouraging schools to get students outside for 2 hours every day. It appears to have successfully reversed a 40-year-long increase in myopia rates. And since 2001, Singapore has funded public education, promoting time outdoors, and conducted annual vision screenings at schools. And it seems to be working. Right now, these rates may be higher than ever, but the future of myopia will only look like this if we keep doing things the same way. And we have never been in a better position to change. Regular eye exams and taking breaks from screen time can help preventing or manage vision problems. Then there's a 20-20-20 rule, which means while doing near work, such as using laptop, smartphone, or doing homework or office work, take 20 seconds of break after every 20 minutes and focus your eyes on something at least 20 feet away. Then there are also built-in features in mobile and computer applications like YouTube that you can enable, which reminds you to take a break during binge watching the videos after every regular period of time that you program. Glasses and contact lenses are an effective way to correct vision problems, and there are also surgical options available for certain conditions. Needing glasses or contacts to see for the rest of your life is obviously inconvenient, but in the long term, the consequences of that distorted eyeball shape can become serious. So if you find this video interesting, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.